The threat landscape refers to the overall landscape or environment in which threats to information systems and data exist. It encompasses the various type of threats, their sources, methods, and potential impact on organizations' security posture. So the threat landscape is constantly evolving as a new vulnerabilities are discovered and threat actors adapt their techniques. So understanding the threat landscape is crucial for organizations to assess risk and implement appropriate measures and respond effectively to emerging threats. So here are the key elements of the threat landscape. So first we have the threat actors. These are individuals, groups, or organizations that pose a threat to information systems and data. They can include hackers, cyber criminals, nation states, insiders, hacktivists, or even unintentional threats caused by human error. Each threat actor may be different, may have different motives, capabilities, and targets. Next one is attack vectors. Attack vectors are paths or means through which threats exploit vulnerabilities in information systems. This can include phishing emails, social engineering, malware infections, network attacks, software vulnerabilities, or physical attacks. Understanding the various attack vectors help organizations to identify potential weaknesses and implement appropriate countermeasures. So some of these terms may be familiar already as it was discussed already in the previous subject. We have malware and malicious software. So this refers to malicious software designed to disrupt, damage, or gain unauthorized access to computer systems or data. So this include viruses, worms, trojans, ransomware, spyware, and other forms of malicious code. The threat landscape includes the analysis of emerging strains, their distribution methods, and potential impact on systems. Vulnerabilities. So these are weaknesses or flaws in software, hardware, or system configurations that can be exploited by threat actors. So these vulnerabilities can result from programming errors, misconfigurations, outdated software, or unpatched systems. Monitoring and understanding vulnerabilities in the threat landscape can help organizations prioritize patching and security updates. Then we have advanced persistent threats. So these are sophisticated, targeted attacks launched by well-funded and highly skilled threat actors. These attacks often involve a long-term presence within a targeted system or network with the intention of stealing data, conducting espionage, or achieving other malicious objectives. So these are a significant concern in the threat landscape as they can evade traditional security measures and remain undetected for extended periods. Then we have emergent threats. The threats landscape is dynamic with new threats continuously emerging. These can include a new attack technique, zero-day vulnerability, evolving malware, or emerging technologies that introduce new security challenges. Staying abreast of emerging threats is crucial to organizations to proactively adapt their security measures. Then we have industry-specific threats. Certain industries may face specific threats and risks. For example, financial institutions may be targeted for financial fraud or theft, while healthcare organizations may face threats related to patient data breaches. Understanding industry-specific threats allows organizations to tailor their security strategies accordingly. Then we have geopolitical factors. The threat landscape can be influenced by geopolitical factors such as nation, state, cyber warfare, political tensions, or conflicts. Nation-state actors may engage in cyber espionage, sabotage, or disruption of critical infrastructure, leading to a more complex and heightened threat landscape. You've seen these cases in movies, and most of this actually exists. Monitoring and analyzing the threat landscape enables organizations to assess their exposure, identify potential vulnerabilities, and implement security controls. By staying vigilant and proactive, organizations can better protect their information systems and data from evolving threats in the dynamic threat landscape. Security breaches can have significant and far reaching impact on organizations, individuals, and society as a whole. Here are some common impacts of security breaches. First, we have financial losses. Security breaches can result in substantial financial losses for organizations. These losses can stem from various factors, including the cost associated with incident response, investigation and legal actions, system restoration, customer compensation, and damage to organization's reputation. In some cases, financial impact can be severe enough to cause long-term damage or even bankruptcy for the affected organization. Damage to reputation. Security breaches can erode trust and damage the reputation of organizations. When customers, partners, and stakeholders learn about a breach, they may lose they may lose confidence in the organization's ability to protect their data. Their loss of trust can lead to a decline in customer loyalty, decreased sales, and potential business relationships being severed. Regulatory and legal consequences. Security breaches can trigger legal and regulatory consequences, especially if sensitive or personal information is compromised. Organizations may face fines, penalties, and legal actions for failing to protect customer data in accordance with applicable laws and regulations, such as data protection and privacy laws. Compliance with these regulations becomes critical to mitigate legal risks. Then we have identity theft and fraud. If personal information is compromised in a security breach, it can lead to identity theft and fraud. Cyber criminals can use stolen personal information to conduct fraudulent activities such as opening unauthorized accounts, making unauthorized transactions, or committing financial fraud. This can result in financial loss, damaged credit scores, and significant personal hardship for the individuals affected. We also have operational disruption. So security breaches can disrupt an organization's operations, causing downtime, system unavailability, or impaired functionality. You may recall the case of Globe and Land Bank for some cases wherein the operation were disrupted because of some issues on security breach. This can lead to productivity losses, delays in business processes, and customer dissatisfaction. And some organizations may need to suspend operations temporarily to address the breach, resulting in further financial losses and reputational damage. Loss of intellectual property. Breaches can lead to the theft or exposure of valuable intellectual property, trade secrets, or proprietary information. This can have severe consequences for organizations, particularly in industries relying heavily on innovation and competitive advantage. This loss of intellectual property can result in reduced market position, decreased revenue, and diminished competitive edge. Psychological and emotional impact. Security breaches can have a psychological and emotional impact on individuals whose personal information is compromised. Victims may experience stress, anxiety, fear, and a sense of violation due to invasion of privacy. Restoring trust and providing support to affected individuals becomes crucial for organizations. Then we have socio-economic consequences. Large-scale security breaches can have broader socioeconomic consequences. They can lead to a loss of public trust in digital and online services, negatively impacting the overall digital economy. Consumers may become reluctant to engage in online transactions, undermining e-commerce growth and digital transformation efforts. It is important for organizations to recognize the potential impact of security breaches and take proactive measures to prevent, detect, and respond to such incidents. Implementing robust security measures, conducting risk assessments, training employees on security best practices, and having an incident response plan can mitigate the potential impacts of security breaches. So this is very important for organizations to realize the impact of possible security breaches. Without such, they may not address well the incident that might happen. Several frameworks and standards exist to guide organizations in implementing effective information assurance practices. These frameworks provide a structured approach to managing information security and ensuring the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of information. Here are some prominent information assurance frameworks and standards. You could also consider one of these in your capstone project. This ensures the availability of security measures in your system. First, we have the ISO ISC 27001. This standard is an international standard that provides a systematic approach to managing information security. It outlines a comprehensive information security management system that includes policies, procedures, controls, and risk management processes. The standard focuses on establishing a framework for managing security risk and protecting valuable information assets. We also have NIST Cyber Security Framework. This one is developed by the National Institute of Standards and Technology in the US. It offers a risk-based approach to managing cybersecurity. It provides organizations with a set of guidelines, standards, and best practices for assessing and improving their cybersecurity posture. The framework comprises 5 core functions, which are identity, protect, detect, respond, and recover. We also have COBIT, or the Control Objectives for Information and Related Technologies. COBIT is a framework developed by ISACA, or Information Systems Audit and Control Associations, that provides a governance and management framework for IT processes. It offers guidance on aligning IT activities with business objectives and ensuring the effective use of IT resources. So it includes control objectives, management guidelines, and maturity model to assess and improve IT governance and control. We have next CIS controls. CIS is Center for Internet Security. These are a set of best practices for cybersecurity developed by a community of experts. They provide a prioritized list of security actions that organizations can take to enhance their security posture. The controls over various aspects of cybersecurity include asset management, access control, incident response, and security awareness training. Next, we have ITIL, or Information Technology Infrastructure Library. This is a widely adopted framework for IT service management. Although it is not solely focused on information assurance, it includes guidance on managing and delivering security IT services. ITIL provides a comprehensive set of best practices for service strategy, design, transition, operation, and continual service improvement. Next, we have SANS. SANS critical security controls are a prioritized set of security measures designed to defend against common attack vectors. They provide specific recommendations for implementing technical control and security best practices to protect information systems. Then we have PCI DSS, or Payment Card Industry Data Security Standard. PCI DSS is a security standard developed by major credit card companies to protect cardholder data. It applies to organizations that handle, process, or store payment card information. PCI DSS provides a set of requirements for securing payment card data, including network security, access controls, encryption, and regular security testing. These frameworks and standards serve as valuable references for organizations seeking to establish a robust information assurance program. They provide guidance on risk management, security controls, compliance requirements, and best practices for protecting information assets. Organizations can adapt these frameworks based on their specific needs, industry requirements, and regular obligations. So you could actually choose among these as a framework for your security feature, as I mentioned earlier. Focus on the term applicability because it would matter in your choice of framework. Okay, so we come now to the last part of this lesson, which is to summarize the key points discussed. So first, we have information assurance is a discipline that focuses on safeguarding information and ensuring its availability, integrity, confidentiality, and non-repudiation. So in today's interconnected digital world, the security and protection of information are of paramount importance. Information assurance encompasses policies, procedures, technologies, and practices designed to protect information from unauthorized access, disclosure, alteration, and destruction. Then we have the importance, also discussed in this lesson. The importance of information assurance is evident in the increasing reliance on information systems, the proliferation of sensitive data, the evolving threat landscape, and legal and regulatory requirements. Next, we have for organizations, information assurance is crucial for protecting sensitive data, ensuring business continuity, and complying with regulations and standards. Individuals also benefit from information assurance by protecting personal data, preserving privacy, and mitigating risks associated with digital technologies. And last, we have understanding information assurance empowers individuals and organizations to make informed decisions, adapt security practices, and mitigate the risk associated with cyber threats. Okay, so we come now to the part where you will be giving your participation in the class. So I will be assigning a task which you will be doing within this week for submission. Okay, so the task is write a research paper analyzing notable security breaches that have occurred in various companies. Identify a company that have experienced significant security breach in recent years. Conduct in-depth research and provide a comprehensive analysis of each breach. So you will be guided by this information that must be available in your paper. I use the term research paper because you will be researching for information about this topic. This is not actually a journal article or research paper project per se. Okay, so your paper should include the company background and industry context. All of these are available in the internet, so don't worry much about this. You will not be going to actual companies to get information. All of these are available online because all of these are documented. Next is the date and scope of the security breach. Third, attack vector and method employed by the hackers. Impact and consequences of the breach on the company and its stakeholders, response and mitigation measures taken by the company, lessons learned from the breach, and recommendations for improving security practices. So this information must be available on your paper. So for submission, you will submit your individual work through BULMS for our course where you were recently added to ensure that each student would get a unique case, a topic from the indicators discussed here will be assigned. My purpose for doing this unique cases is for us to uh, cover all the necessary components, necessary concepts in information assurance before we delve into the application of this information assurance and security measures. So our due date is June 16, 2023. I've mentioned this before that this is a summer term, so we'll be doing everything fast. We have enough time to do this. Okay, so due is June 16, 2023. That's tomorrow. So for the presentation, create a simple slide presentation summarizing the content of your submission, focusing on the topic assigned. So you will be presenting this in class, and you will be given 10 minutes to discuss the topic. Okay, let's just make it simple. Again, our purpose is to learn from these cases. So let's be comfortable sharing this information. Because if I will be discussing each of these topics one by one, we won't be able to cover everything. All we could do is just to present, or all that I could do is introduce the matter. Uh, I believe that if you've actually analyzed the case, you would learn more. So if each one of you would be doing that and sharing that in class, so we'll get a deeper understanding of each of these cases. And again, the main purpose of this is for you to get an idea on how this would be implemented in your capstone project.